Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. We have a kitchen full of chefs and lots of holiday cooking ideas for you. To my right is Carolyn Peak from Williamstown. On my left is Heather Fisher and her children Caden and Eliza from Colchester. And next to them are Adam Bates from Burlington and Lynn Jarvis from South Hero. Welcome to all of you. Now this is our last In the Kitchen program for 2014 and we want to take a moment to thank all of you for your cards and notes throughout the year. And that includes Lucille Mugford from Barrie and Gloria Lashway across the lake in Ellensburg Depot. Also, Medine Robinson of Winooski, Judy Sherburne of Waterford, Eileen Wadley up in Danville, Quebec, and Flossie Vernal of St. Albans. We want you to know that every card and note is read and appreciated. Congratulations go to our lucky viewer, Nancy Lee Harrison of White River Junction. Nancy is the winner of our free drawing for the cookbook, Grandma's Best Love Recipes. And Nancy, you'll be receiving the cookbook in the mail in plenty of time for Christmas. Thanks for being a loyal viewer and enjoy your new cookbook. Well, I can see, Heather, that you're ready to go, so I'll let you have it.
All right, thanks, Judy. It's great to be here to kick off the holiday recipe season. I have my son Caden with me who helped with some of the baking. And I'm going to start with these muffins right here. They're Jordan Marsh blueberry muffins, and it's a viewer recipe from Dan Franks out of Stowe, Vermont. He writes that these are a great treat to have on Christmas morning. And as I was preparing these, I've made so many different blueberry muffin recipes with all different sort of oils and different ways. I just loved having a recipe that just uses the classic ingredients, butter, and the flavor really shows how great they are. And I love the topping of sugar and a little nutmeg. And it was just nice to make these muffins and to be able to have a nice quick muffin to go on Christmas morning. So I agree. Thanks, Dan, for sending those in. My next recipe I'm going to share with you is Oreo cookie fudge recipe. It's not your classic fudge recipe. It's a no-bake recipe, very, very simple. It has cream cheese, powdered sugar, a little vanilla, and lots of white chocolate. It is very, very rich, but very easy to make. Takes a little bit of time to maybe melt the white chocolate. You have to be careful with that. But other than that, it's a great quick recipe. And if you like white chocolate, you will probably love to try this Oreo cookie fudge recipe. You only need a very little. They're very sweet. The next recipe I'm going to share with you is for broken glass Jell-O or stained glass Jell-O. What I liked about this recipe is that you can kind of change it up for any holiday. So if you were doing 4th of July, you could do 4th of July Jell-O colors. If you're doing Christmas like I did here, you can do red and green. And again, very easy and kind of fun. You start by just cooking or making up your Jell-O. I chose red and green, cutting them into cubes, and then also making a mixture of sweetened condensed milk with a little unflavored gelatin, and you pour that over your cubed Jell-O, and then you let that set for about 4 hours or overnight, and you get these neat looking festive Jell-O squares that are tasty to eat too. Probably my favorite recipe is the peppermint bark brownies, and I'm going to just take one and show it to you. Peppermint bark is something I make, you know, the traditional peppermint bark with chocolate and white chocolate and peppermint candies on top. When I found a peppermint bark brownie recipe, I thought I had to try it, and it's probably my favorite recipe on the show today. So you make a classic, very rich, chocolatey base brownie recipe. It's on the bottom, and it's topped with white chocolate and some broken up peppermint candies on top. Very, very delicious and definitely my favorite. And it's best if you make it 24 hours ahead of time because they're really, really fudgy. So if you stick them in your refrigerator and let them set for about 24 hours, they taste even better the next day. And so the last recipe is one that my kids kind of helped make. It's very simple and kind of fun. You, of course, could use your own homemade bread dough, or you could buy some pizza bread dough at the grocery store. And that's what we did to make these. We bought 2 prepared bread dough recipes, and we just made the shape of a Santa Claus, and we cut, using scissors, cut up for the beard, and it was a lot of fun. And Eliza and Caden helped by painting an egg wash for the hat and the nose for Santa Claus. So it's a great little fun and really pretty recipe to have on the holidays. And Carolyn's going to come in to share more.
Yes, that does look like fun.
It is fun.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll be back for one of those brownies for sure.
I'm sure.
Well, I have a nice variety of recipes today, and I'm going to start out with honey garlic glazed meatballs. And this will be wonderful if you're having like a potluck or just a time maybe getting together to decorate a tree or most anything. And it's just your regular meatballs, and then it has a mixture of cloves, butter, ketchup, honey, and soy sauce. And once you have cooked your meatballs, then you put them in, and I used my crock pot. The recipe doesn't say that, but I do it. You can use it and make it a lot easier. Then I have a apple turkey pot pie. And I don't know about you, but all the holidays that we have turkey, there's always some turkey left over. And you run out of different things to do with it. So this is a pot pie. And it's just your standard turkey, leftover turkey. You could put other vegetables into it. You could put peas and carrots and everything. But this is just onion and butter and cream of chicken soup. And it has an apple in it. So that's kind of a little different, going to give you a little different flavor and a little more interesting way of doing things. I also have, for the vegetable, I have Company Broccoli 3-Cheese Bake. And this is almost like your green bean casserole, but it's made with broccoli. It does have those French fried onions on it, and it's got a 3-cheese broccoli. You put the cheese and some red pepper and some part of the French fried onion rings into it. You bake that up, and then you sprinkle some more around it, some more onions around it, and you're all set. A really nice vegetable and kind of holiday looking with the red and green. Down on the front here, I have a pumpkin chip loaf, and it has got pumpkin chips. It has got chocolate chips that just won't quit. It's little tiny chocolate chips, and it is just a fantastic way to use up some extra pumpkin on things. My viewer recipe, I'm going to bring this over so that they can see it better with the camera. This is spiced pumpkin fudge, and this is from Catherine Marshall in Waterbury, Vermont, and she says that this is a favorite at Thanksgiving and Christmas get-togethers. It's very simple. You make a fudge base with the pumpkin and, of course, sugar and evaporated milk, and then you add butterscotch morsels, marshmallow fluff, some vanilla, and some chopped nuts if you want to, and it makes a 9x13 pan, so you have a lot of fudge to share. And you can share it with the family and friends and everything. Now, I want to finish up by telling you that even your failures can be edible. This was supposed to have been fudge drops, chocolate fudge drops. Well, my stove was misbehaving a little bit, and it didn't cook as much as it should have. So they didn't set up. They were to be just dropped onto a cookie sheet and harden. Well, so instead I have this really nice, delicious chocolate sauce that can be put onto ice cream or over pound cake or whatever. It has cherries and raisins and chopped walnuts in it, and believe me, it is even good just by the spoonful. So don't worry if a recipe fails, just turn it into something else. So here's Lynn.
You know, you're a real Vermonter. You never throw anything out.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Well, thank you, Carolyn. Merry Christmas.
Yes, you too.
And it's my pleasure now to introduce Adam Bates. He's right here. He's a 6th grader at the Edmonds School in Burlington, and he likes to bake all kinds of treats. And he was the winner of the King Arthur Flour Youth Brownie Contest at the Champlain Valley Fair. And I had the pleasure of judging that contest. And Adam, your brownies were delicious. Now, before we look at them, you do a very interesting fundraiser. Tell us about that.
Well, I started having my bake sales when I was 8. I did my first bake sale alone, and my next 3 I did with friends. So far, I've raised almost $600, and I've donated it all to the Humane Society.
I'm very impressed, Adam. Now, where did you come up with such a good idea? You love animals, I expect.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I didn't really like seeing like all the strays out on the streets.
Well,
so
I understand. Good for you. Well, I'm very impressed with that, and keep up the good work. And I'm sure you're going to have a plate of your turtle brownies at your next bake sale, right?
right.
Okay. All right. So we talked about your brownies getting the blue ribbon at the fair. Now, why do you think they got that first place win?
I think that they got them because I figured everybody loves caramel and everybody loves brownies, so why not combine the two?
And
the reason I put pecans in was inspired because of the candy, the turtle candy.
And as one that has tried these, I can tell you they're delicious, and these recipes will be in our handout that you can order at the end of the show. So Adam, congratulations to you. Hope you see you at the fair this fall.
Okay.
And Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Here, if you'd take these out, we'll get ready for our next recipes. I'll keep this one.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to move on, and there's not a lot of time left for me to show my recipes, but you can order them all at the end of the show or have them for, get them here online. Now, my first recipe is right here, and it's from Danielle Simoneau over in Alberg, Vermont, and she made it at the last Island Arts Christmas party, and it was a big hit, and I wanted to show it to you today. It's very easy to make. It's her Easy Chicken Divan, and in here there's chicken, broccoli, cheese, cream of chicken soup, and spices, and it's garnished with pimento, as you can see. And these all fit together to form the perfect mix of this chicken divan. It's the perfect main dish for any family, any time of year. Now, I'm going to do a nice complement to this, and it's this scalloped corn, and let me set that up here. It's a recipe from Alice Dewey of Stowe, Vermont, and it's her scalloped corn, as I said, it's very easy to make, as the corn is whisked together with eggs, milk, and spices. And it's made in her toaster oven. So it's a recipe for 1 or 2, as you can see, but you can easily double the recipe. And we thank you very much, Alex. It's a delicious little scalloped corn. And moving on now is a recipe that has all of my most favorite Christmas flavors. This is an apricot orange cranberry bread. It makes 2 large loaves or 5 small ones that can be kept in the freezer. So once you get these recipes, you can start making your homemade goods to give as Christmas gifts for your family and friends. This is a great one. And with Thanksgiving just about a week ago, I'm still thinking about pumpkin pie, and I decided to make this recipe from Deb and Sylvia Ledoux down in Reading, Vermont, and it's a pumpkin dish, and it's made in the crock pot. And here it is. The main ingredients are pumpkin, evaporated milk, and Bisquick, and you put it in the crock pot on low for about 6 hours, and you're all ready to go. And you can serve it in these little mini pudding pies like this, or top it with your favorite topping. And I'm using a low-fat whipped cream because there's quite a bit of sugar in the regular whipped cream. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is my Christmas cookie platter, and I wish you were all here to sample this along with all of us. The first one is right here. It's these old-fashioned molasses cookies. It's a recipe from Lynn Bourgeois of Vergennes. Delicious. Lynn, thank you for that. The second one is over here. It's these Christmas tarts, Canadian Christmas tarts. They'll become a tradition in your family. And the last is great to make with your children on before Christmas. It's this Christmas Santa's Bark. Great for Christmas Eve and a great way to spend some time with your kids during the holidays.
What wonderful recipes. Great job, everybody. Now, there are a couple of different ways to get the recipes that we've just featured. You can go online from the Across the Fence website. Go to uvm.edu/extension and click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 and a stamped self-addressed business-size envelope to Holiday Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont, 05486. And please remember to include your $2 and the stamped self-addressed business-size envelope. All right, well, as we close out today's program, from all of us here at Across the Fence and Channel 3, we want to once again thank you for your viewership and wish you a very safe and happy holiday season. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.